The AirPod Max are probably the most sophisticated, toughest over-the-ear headphones with genuine, high premium feeling materials available in the market. And although it does have a hefty price tag, it's for a good reason and some, as these things are jam-packed with a lot of amazing features that I'm definitely sure a lot of people don't know about. And so in today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and cover everything that everybody needs to know about the AirPod Max so you get the most out of them. So after 2 years of owning these things, I'm gonna go ahead and cover basically everything, so you really know how to use them to their full potential. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start off with the way you turn these off. Unfortunately, Apple didn't give us like an on and off switch, and also there's no ability to actually turn these off completely. But what Apple did do is with the smart case, when you put it inside, it will actually enter the device in ultra low power mode. So when you take these out of the case, it will immediately connect to the nearby Apple device with your Apple account, of course. So more to the story, the only way to turn these things off is by putting it inside the travel case, so make sure you travel with the smart case. Yes, you can lay these down on a flat surface. Within 5 minutes, this should also toggle the same low power effect, but the headphones have to remain still when it's laying on the floor. So no, there's no official way to turn these things off, but that's something you definitely need to know about if you like to preserve the battery as long as possible. And on ultra low power mode, it said it's able to last up to 72 hours. However, if you do like to travel without the smart case, you can always just turn off the head tracking detection in the settings on your iPhone. And with this turned off, now whenever there's no audio playing, it's just gonna automatically start the 5-minute timer. So it can actually go into ultra low power mode to give you the best battery life possible. So that's a method you could try. And if you don't like to use the first party smart case, there's third parties out there with similar magnets placements, which will also toggle the low power mode. So when you're looking for a third party case, if you want to upgrade, make sure it actually is supported to toggle the ultra low power mode for the AirPod Max. Now another tip about the AirPod Max, if you need an auxiliary port, it may not look like you can because there really isn't an auxiliary port on this, but you can always buy an accessory that will actually unlock this auxiliary port capability. This is the one that I use. It's officially from Apple, but you don't have to use this one. This one's really expensive. There's a lot of great third-party ones now available in the market. So they actually will achieve the same outcome. Just read the reviews, but the majority of them, they're half the cost of this thing because this is a ripoff, but this will actually give you the ability to actually use the auxiliary cable for your DJ setup, your computer, or anything you wish just to be able to actually plug in via a cable. That's how you can do this. But a thing I should also highlight is it still requires the headphones to have battery in order to power on. So you can't just plug it in this way if you don't have a charge. Just a quick FYI. But these do charge pretty quickly, as a 5-minute charge will provide enough juice for these things to be able to play back audio for 90 minutes. Now, automatic device switching is a feature that Apple promotes so long as you're a part of the Apple ecosystem and the AirPod Max is paired on your iCloud accounts. This is super convenient for me, and then my iPhone receives an incoming call. It will immediately switch from that device to my iPhone as it's prioritizing the phone call over to the source I was originally listening to. Now, this can become annoying to some, especially if you're not the one actually using the headphones, like a toddler is, or kid, or something like that as a fine example. You could either tap on the card to reverse back to that previous device, or you can go in Control Center and actually select the AirPod Max quickly this way. But if you like to have this turned off entirely, you can easily do so. You just need to go on your iPhone and go into your settings. Now, my personal device is indeed on iOS 16, so I actually have the AirPod setting option right here. So if you're not on iOS 16 yet, or you're not on the beta, what you need to do is just go into your Bluetooth section and just select the little eye icon of the device of the AirPod Max. So once you're on the setting page, it should be exactly the same. What you're trying to look for is this iPhone automatically section. From here, click on when last connected to this iPhone. Now it will no longer automatically switch on those devices. Now, for whatever said reason, if your AirPods are acting funny, you can hard reset. Although it doesn't seem like you can, it's really easy to do so. All you have to do is just look at the LED light down here and just press and hold both the noise cancellation button and the digital crown. Hold it for a few seconds until the light turns amber and begins flashing Once it's flashing, it's on the repairing process, so just go ahead and pair it to your device and should automatically be reset to its factory settings. And all you have to do is go through the setup procedure, which you could skip because I'm pretty sure we already are familiar with the screen. Now don't forget, if you ever lose these, the Find My feature is actually fully compatible with AirPods Pro. And the application is pretty self-explanatory. If you ever use Find My, it's the exact same concept. Then if you use the Find My Nearby, the AirPod Max are fully compatible, so you can actually utilize the app as the dot will get bigger and smaller the closer and further you get, so you can locate it faster, and you actually have access to the little speaker icon to allow it to play sound, so you can listen to it and locate it faster. It will also keep track of the last known location it was last connected to your device, so if you lose it somewhere else, you can always backtrack and launch the app to actually locate it quicker before the battery dies. Now if you're wondering how you could update these things, well, to find out the latest firmware update your device is on, all you need to do is just go into your Bluetooth settings, tap the little eye icon, and scroll all the way down to where you see version number right here. This is where you actually check on it, see if it is on the latest firmware. If not, there's no manual way to update these things like there is with your iPhone. But the way to properly do it, how Apple advises you to do it, is just simply place them in the smart case, have your smartphone nearby, and make sure that the AirPod Max are connected to power. Overnight, hopefully, it should automatically update. But that's how you update these things. It just automatically does it once it's plugged into power and your iPhone is nearby. Now, one of the cool features about AirPods and the whole Apple ecosystem is audio sharing. The AirPod Max are fully compatible, so long as the other person that also wants to listen to what you're viewing on your device, if they take out their supported device on your control center on the device you want to listen to, tap the little up arrow icon and scroll down to where you see share audio. Here, just follow the on-screen instructions, but you'll be able to pair two devices at once and have the capability to not just adjust the noise cancellation settings and stuff like that if it supports it on their device, but you can actually adjust the audio levels separately so everybody can listen to the audio with their own personal preference. AirPod Max are fully compatible, and this way to do this, it's super easy. And same goes on Apple TV, also applies, iPads, and etc. But now if we go back on our iPhone settings with the AirPod Max connected, tap the eye icon, or you can tap right here if you're on an iOS 16. Here you have the capability to switch between the three different modes: noise cancellation, transparency mode. Of course, you can do the exact same thing on Control Center by long pressing. You have the ability to switch between those different modes here as well and change the audio. On the button cycles, you could disable or enable some of the things. If you wanted to completely turn off, you could do that. So next time when you hit the mode button, it will automatically switch between these cycles that you selected. Digital crown, you can also program if you like to reverse it. If you want the front to increase the audio, or front from back to front to back. Personal preference, you could adjust it right here. Automatic hear detection, you can turn that off if you don't want it. Again, by turning it off, this does allow the device to go into ultra low power mode quicker, so you could do that to preserve as much battery life as possible. I would personally just leave it automatic. Battery life isn't really much of an issue for me, especially since these can actually last 20 hours under a single charge with audio playback. Now in the spatial audio section, for personalized spatial audio, I highly recommend going through this setup procedure. This way, your AirPod Max are personally designed for your ears. And then this, of course, will give you the spatial audio capability if you're watching a movie or something like that supports spatial audio, or even music even. It will give you a 3D immersion using the built-in sensors like the gyroscope on both your two devices. It will actually make it seem like you're literally in a movie theater, experiencing the best cinematic audio listening experience possible that these AirPod Max can deliver. You can enable it right there, and then of course on Control Center you can enable it right here as well. Then a Find My network, recommend leaving this for you. You could actually take advantage of the Find My capability. It's free to use, which is amazing. And the accessibility, here you can actually adjust the press speed of the buttons right here. If you want to slow it down or make it even slower, you can easily do so. Same goes for the press and hold duration. You can shorten it right here. Audio accessibility settings, I don't really recommend going into here, but there is some nifty stuff like the headphone notification. You can actually turn that off right here. So if you're working out and then you're wearing your headphones but you don't have your phone nearby, Siri will actually verbally read out loud the notification. So if it's urgent, you have the capability to respond right away or not. And then of course you have the balance control right here, and the flash alert, which will just toggle the flash on your device. Again, this is personal preference, but with this enabled, basically if you receive a notification you're wearing your headphones, it'll toggle the flash on your iPhone. Let's go back. Of course, you have your coverage data. Mine expired. These things were, I own these since day one. And then, of course, disconnect and forget this device. I highly recommend clicking forget this device if you're going to sell these to somebody else, so it's not linked and tied up to your iCloud email address. Aside from the button controls, which I have the list right here, you could pause the video right here to understand how to pause and play, go back to previous tracks and stuff right here, as well as activate Siri. But that's basically it to the most part. But another tip I could definitely throw in is these carbon fiber covers for your AirPod Max. These are made out of aluminum, and these are technically almost 2 years old. And the fact there's no scratch marks right here where they make contact all the time, like some other headphones I've seen. This case has been doing a fantastic job in preserving the paint, I guess the outer shell of my AirPods away from any scratches and stuff like that, still keeping these things looking new like they were since day one. So I have this accessory in the video description down below. And there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you got some good useful information out of this video. If you did, you know what to do. Really appreciate if you actually leave this video a like, as those help me out a lot. And get subscribed, especially if you enjoy a lot of tech videos just like this. If you'd like to know what some accessories I personally use on the day-to-day on my AirPod Max, like those carbon fiber inserts for protections and such, I'll include my favorite accessories in the video description down below. And as always, if you enjoy these type of content, like what I'm doing, do consider subscribing, as I basically cover a lot of tech videos in general, such as this video over here where I go through my favorite accessories for the Apple Watch, and then that video over there, that is a video that YouTube's recommending specifically for you. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.